You're doing okay, doing your daytime stuff, your nighttime stuff, all of that sort of junk. I wanted to do a different style of video here or something, just a way for me to kind of talk about things and the way that I've been kind of handling and managing life. Not saying that it's good or bad or anything like that, but I've found solace in outlets, or I guess a better place of putting it, I found enjoyment in other channels and stuff that do the same sort of thing. And I guess I just felt I had something I might have to offer, or not. It's hard for me to really say. We're all just people in the end doing our own thing, just trying to get on by. But at the same time, sometimes that's fine. Like, that's all we really need to be. I don't know. A lot of times I kind of give myself these ideas or these feelings of grandeur that I need to do these great things to make somebody proud, or, you know, to make my parents happy, or to make myself happy, or something like that. But I think oftentimes it, at least for me, comes down to not really understanding what happiness or values or anything like that kind of means in the first place. And obviously it means something different to everyone, but that's something that I found really helped me throughout my journey, was understanding what meant a lot to me in life. Like, if I had to drop all of these major things that were happening in my life, that, well, if I had to drop everything besides, like, you know, 4 or 5 things, and I'm not talking about like items or something like that. Maybe it can be, like, if you're really into painting, maybe it could be all of your paint stuff, like stuff like that. But if you had to drop basically everything, like, what's something that you really couldn't live without? And for me, it was family and my loved ones and people I care about. And as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that a lot of people tend to share that same value. They might have other ones, they might have other hobbies and things they enjoy, but ultimately I think a lot of people value family and community and a sense of belonging. I'm not saying that community and a sense of belonging and family are all the same thing, but I would like to feel that, you know, family should give you those feelings, even though they're not necessarily exclusive to each other. Yeah, this is just kind of me rambling about sort of things and little things that have sort of helped me. I found that figuring out what I value in life and what things make me happy has been obviously really helpful, but I understand at the same time, whenever you're in a depressive mood or you're filled with anxiety or what have you, you know, life's going on, like, you can't always be happy, or can't even start to think about what happiness looks like in some cases. And a further case is that if you can't think about what happiness looks like, then how are you going to know what things make you happy? And it's kind of a slippery slope into this whole, I don't know, pit of depression. And we've all sort of been there. I'd hope so. I'd assume everybody's done that. We're all human. Obviously, I don't know everyone, but, you know, all of my friends and all of my family members have gone through a thing or two to kind of get through life. But all in all, everybody's gotten through it. So I know you can too. No one is going to really tell you what you value in life or what you should be doing with your time. Ultimately, that comes down to you and, you know, what you want in life, what you expect, what you see in 20, 30 years. Sometimes that's all that you kind of need to better understand those values as well. Sometimes proper goal setting can allow you to better think about, you know, what means a lot to you. Like, thinking about what's going on in 20, 30 years. Maybe you want a house, maybe you want to get married, maybe you want to have kids, maybe you want to retire, maybe you want to find another job. Regardless, even these kind of more general overarching stuff of, like, let's just say getting married or buying a house, for example, Obviously, there's a lot of things going into that, but that's 20 years down the line. But that can kind of give you, a goal or a foundation to base your short-term goals around. So instead of necessarily being so gung-ho about here right now, I need to buy this house as quickly as possible, it allows you to kind of put your mind at ease and say, hey, I'm gonna do this eventually, but while I'm doing everything else in my life, let's just take little steps or little bites out of doing this big goal, and then eventually we'll get there. And here's the kicker, is that sometimes it's not always going to work out. Not in that sense, but sometimes along the way you're going to realize that your life has changed, your environment has changed, your wants have changed, your values have changed. So you might change your mind halfway through, and that's just fine. Or you might go through it and you realize this isn't what you want, and that's just fine too. You don't know what you don't know. I had a coworker tell me that one time, is that you don't know something unless you do. And it's probably one of the most right statements in life, is that something, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but if you don't know what that outcome's going to be, then you'll never know unless you try. So ultimately what it comes down to is figuring out what to do. And that's kind of where we come back to our original idea, is what do we value in life? What do we want to do? Like, what matters to us? We know that they might change. We know that we might not always stick to it, but at the same time, like, we care about it now. We want to stick to it now. So that's all that should really matter. And we don't need to worry about too much of the future, just as long as it's fitting with our goals. But, if we decide our goals don't really work for us, we can change that too, and then go from there. Not everything needs to be such a radical change. Like, I can set a long-term goal or change my long-term goal at one point and then slowly change my different behaviors or not. Regardless, like, it's depending on your situation, but I think ultimately it's deciding on what you ultimately want in life first and then slowly working towards that. That's been a method that I found that has really helped me through a lot of my struggles in life. At the same time, it's not going to be a one cure-all sort of fix. Nothing really is ever going to be like that. We all have different problems, different brain functions, different chemicals, different neurons, different little things happening in our body. We got different life situations. We got different families. Like, there's so much going on. Let's not try to take everything so seriously and give ourselves some credit for as far as we've gotten so far. I know a lot of times it's easier to be hard on ourselves, but if you from 10 years ago or 15 years ago saw you where you are now, would you be happy? And I think for a lot of us, I think we would be happy in that regard. We might not exactly be achieving our dreams one-to-one, but I think at the same time, we'd be proud to see how far we've come and what we've been able to overcome and what we've learned so far. So we can't really discount ourselves for all of the pains and traumas and learning and fun that we've had along the way. So I don't know, this was just kind of my ramble about something. I just wanted to talk about something to get my mind off of, I guess, doing work here and feeling bad about my own sort of problems. We'll get there eventually, but I didn't want to get into specifics and all of that sort of stuff too much. We all have things going on, and this is a portion of what we've talked about today of something that's been bothering me, so I'm glad to be able to share it. But ultimately, what it comes down to, kind of as we said earlier, is just figuring out what we value and just trying our best and going from there. Sometimes health or finance or relationship or whatever, or, housing or, again, whatever, might not work out for you, but all we can really do is just keep on chugging, hope for the best, and as long as we know that we're doing our genuine best and doing what we can, then it's all that matters. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. Don't overstress yourself. I know a lot of people can really push themselves to do their best, but it's also important to understand what's in your means. don't let stuff like that, like doing your best and achieving things, don't let doing your best and achieving things be your limitation. Hang in there. I believe in you. We'll all get through it a little bit by a little bit, just one step at a time, day by day. And just know that somebody out there cares for you, whether if it's your neighbors, your friends, your girlfriends, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your son, your daughter, your step-nephew, twice removed, whoever. There's always somebody out there who cares for you and wants to see the best for you. And if you can't think of anybody, just know that I'm always here for you. And I'm always trying my best to, help as much as I can. So I hope I was able to help out today. I don't know, this was something new for me, if you're interested in this sort of content or not, or I don't know, I plan to just kind of do this to get some things off my chest, because I used to do a channel similar to this in the past, and I'd like to kind of talk about things that matter to me, which is, us and our lives and mental health and, just getting through it all. So regardless, thanks for listening. Hope you're all doing well. Hang in there. We'll see you soon. Stay well.